welcome to Darvanalee Designs Studio. My name's Nicole Reed, and today we are going to turn these Christmas cards into these gorgeous little ring boxes. Okay, so in today's video, as I said, we are going to turn these gorgeous we're working with square cards today, and we're going to turn them into these gorgeous little ring boxes. So these were some of the cards that I got over the Christmas break, and you can see that some of them are just absolutely gorgeous. So basically what happens is we turn them into a smaller card. So we're working with a square and we end up with a square box. Whereas last week in the part 1 video, we were working with rectangles. So it's pretty much the same thing. There's a few little different things that we need to do, but you can see some of the gorgeous cards that I got. This one was a wreath. So I centered the Merry Christmas, and then the wreath part of the card ended up all around the outside. So that's a cute little box. And as you can see with this one, I've actually used the card. Actually was quite minimal with the writing on the back, so I didn't need to use cardstock or anything for that. So they're super simple to make. This one here, this one was a Christmas tree. You can see the snowberries and whatnot on that. So that's quite a little cute one as well. Now I think that these are great for putting for sewing friends, of putting thimbles in, or you could put rings and earrings in. They're great little gifts for that someone special, and they sit perfectly in the Christmas tree if you're trying to hide some gifts. So let's get started. Alrighty, so we just need to get our supplies together. There's a few things that we need to make our little square boxes today. Of course, we need our Christmas cards. We need a pair of scissors, a pencil, an eraser, a bone creaser, a ruler with 1/4-inch marks on it, a glue pen or some double-sided tape, up to you, and we also need a couple of wonder clips. Alrighty, so now that we've got all our supplies together, we're going to get started. So the first thing we need to do is just move all that aside, grab one of our Christmas cards, okay, and I'm using this gorgeous Christmas card today. I really like this one. It's very sparkly. I don't think you can see that on, oh yeah, you can. It's sort of silvery, the baubles sort of shimmer, and it's very cute. So basically what we're going to do is pretty much the same thing that we did in part 1, but there's a few different things that we have to do. So grab your card, again cut it in half along that crease, and set the back of your card aside. Okay, so now that we've got our front of the card, just going to sit that down. You're going to grab your ruler and you're going to grab your pencil, and you're going to actually mark across from corner to corner, and then you're going to do the same the other way. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do, instead of actually working with our sides going up to the center, we're going to turn it on point, just like this. Okay, so we're going to turn it onto point, and then we're going to bring one point up, and you can see that the right on the corner is meeting up into that junction right there of the cross, and we just crease it. Then we flip it back out, and then that crease that you can see just there, I'll bring that up to the camera where it's creased. Okay, we now take the point to there, and then we fold that over, and then we fold it again so that straight edge meets that line. Okay, so it will look like this. So it's in, so in first, back out, then the point to that first crease, and then fold it on itself, and then fold it up to the line. Okay, and you're going to repeat that all the way around and give it a really good crease. So again, bringing the point up, back out, down onto itself, and then matching that straight edge up to the line. And repeat again. So in, give it a good crease, tip into that first crease, and then fold it up to the line. And last one. It's a little bit like origami. And you just fold that up to the line. Okay, so basically what you've done now is you've made all these creases, and you can see when you look at your, I don't think you can see that there's like a box in the center. So what I'm going to do is just mark the points. You don't actually have to do this, it just gives you an idea of where those corners are. So you can see there, if I drew a line, it would make a box. Okay, so what we're going to do is keep that on. Now you can put those dots in there if you feel more comfortable doing that. So basically we're going to leave it on point at this, and then grab our scissors, and we're going to come in and we're going to cut on our crease up to that point. And then we're going to do it on the opposite side as well. And then we're going to spin. So basically what you've got now is like a little, what looks like a little house. Okay, and you're going to do that to the other side. And so your card now looks like this. So what you're going to do is we're going to turn it, and we're going to take these sides that we haven't cut, we're going to fold them in again. Okay, so you can see here we've got these little triangles. So if you push that triangle in, it'll come in and match up to the edge there. Okay, and the same with this one. And then you're just following the creases that you've created, and that folds over. And then this one folds over as well. And as you can see, the edge of the box is starting to take shape. See that? And we repeat that on the other side. Now if your little triangles do come out, that's when, because you don't really need the glue with this one, but sometimes these little triangles like to pop out again. So I just give them a bit of a glue, and that keeps them securely fastened in there. Okay, and then just give it a really good crease. Now I use the bone creaser at this point because it just gives a nicer finish, and as you can see, lots of glitter does come off the glitter cards. Okay, and we just repeat that to the other side. So we're just folding it in. You can see we've got our little triangle that comes in. Give it a bit of a crease and a bit of glue. It'll hold that in place for you. And spin that around and do the same thing on the other side. Alrighty, and then just fold that in on itself, making sure that it's all lining up and it's nice and straight. And as you can see, there's the other side. So you can see the box is starting to take shape now. Alright, so these side over here, we hold these in and we just bring them up and we wrap them over while creasing and bring that into the edge there. Give it a good crease. Now at this point I just sort of lift it back out and I grab my eraser and I just get rid of that center cross there. You don't have to get rid of it all, just the center bit. Okay. Bring that back up and over, and you can see that it's nice and clean in the inside. And you can't see this one here, the mark there, because it folds over on itself, so we don't have to worry about erasing that. Again, give it a really good crease. Now you will find that some of your glitter cards will be a little bit harder to get them to stay creased, so that at that point you might want to actually put down a little piece of glue or double-sided tape or something, and that'll just hold it in place. And I can see here that this one's going to lift up, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, if I can get it back out. I'll put a little bit of glue on that just to keep it secure. Alrighty, so that is the bottom at the top of our box. How cute's that? It's got the glitter on it. It's very Christmassy. Alrighty, so now we're going to move on to our next one. I'm just going to put a wonder clip on that too, just to hold that in place. Alright, so now we are on to the bottom of our card. So the same as in part 1, we had to trim off a L shape, a 1/4 inch. We're going to do exactly the same thing with this one as well. So basically what you need to do is, if you don't have scissors, just draw a line and cut along those lines. Okay, if you've got a quilting ruler, then grab, by all means grab that and get your pencil, and you can mark the line. Or you can, alternatively, you can get a little rotary cutter. Now this little rotary cutter here, it's an 18mm one. It's one that I use all the time for my paper crafts and whatnot, so I don't get it mixed up with all my quilting stuff. So I'll put a link down below of this video for that particular one. It's an alpha rotary cutter too. So I'm not going to worry about marking it, but if you were to mark it with your pencil, you just put one line there, and then you can find your next 1/4 inch along this line here. Okay, so then you're just going to cut that bit off there. So I'm just going to use my rotary cutter. So I line my quilting ruler up on the edge of my card, and I just trim that bit off, and then I go turn it and trim the next bit off. And if you're not sure, just mark it anyway, that way you'll know which bits that you're actually cutting off. Okay, so I get rid of that, and again we grab our other ruler and we just mark across in the center, and then you're going to repeat exactly what you just did with the top of the box. So you're going to bring it in, and it's going to fold over onto itself. Now you can use cardstock and all that, and for the bottom of the box if you don't want the writing on the back of the card, but I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. If I was gifting this, I would probably actually use a card that was blank on the back or had very minimal writing. These are just the cards that I had here to work with. Alright, so I'm on to the last one now. I just paused that then before, just to move on to the next bit. So yeah, we're on to the last corner here, so we're just going to fold that. Again, you can rub out your cross now if you want to get rid of that. And then I'm just going to put those dots in so you can see it on camera. Okay, so you can see that. Alright, and so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our scissors again, and we're going to cut up to that point. And we're going to spin and do the same thing again. And then we're going to just basically repeat exactly what we just did with the top. Okay, so this side here, so you've got your little sides that we just cut. We're going to work with the sides that we didn't. We're just going to fold them in on itself. And the triangles in, again, grab your glue stick for your triangles because they do not like to stay in there. And you pop that down. And you fold that in on itself. And you spin. do exactly, and as you can see, like, it's super easy. Once you've made all those first initial creases, it's really easy to put it together. So that is the side, that second side that we've done, and again we just make sure our triangles are sitting nicely, everything is looking really good. Now, one thing I will mention, sometimes with your thicker cards you will have to use, you can use the top, but you won't be able to use the bottom. They will be very snug and very hard to get in. Now you can do one or two things. You can trim a little bit extra, so probably 1/8 of an inch extra off those thicker cards, or you can just use cardstock. Cardstock is usually my option because it's just a lot easier to work with, and I know that it's going to go in, and I don't have to fluff around too much with the whole of trimming of stuff. So and because then you also run the risk of cutting too much off and then it'll be too loose. So that is the bottom of our little ring box, and then it will just fit nicely into the bottom, and there you go. You've got a cute little ring box. So it's a little bit different. The things that I've suggested people use for these are for rings, for a set of earrings and a necklace. You can put a little bit of cotton wool in there, or something along those lines. Another thing, for your sewing friends, you could actually probably put a you know, those collectible thimbles that you get. That would be really pretty if you sat that in there with some cotton wool and then the lid on top. But that is our little ring box. Okay, so that was today's tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed that, and I'd love to see over in the group your creations of your little boxes, and in both sizes, both rectangle and in the square ones. So to find our group, there's a link below this video. I will link anything that I've used in the video down below as well to make it nice and easy for you. If you like this video, give us a couple of thumbs up down below, and also don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment and tell us what you thought, because we always love to hear from you. Until next time, happy quilting and crafting, everybody. I'm Nicole, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.